Welcome back to KTN's Morning Express, and after that very heated discussion, it's quite hot. What we need now is good cheer, good vibes, and good cake. How about that? Well, in studio with me, I have David Ali, who is Executive Assistant Manager, Sankara, Nairobi. Thank you for joining us. That's quite a long title. How do you fit it on your badge?
I don't cut it down to EAM.
EAM?
EAM, keep it short,
Well,
keep it sweet.
It's the EAM at Sankara Hotel. And Pascal, you have to tell me how to pronounce your surname.
Poitevin.
Who can say that apart from you? So Pascal P, who is an executive pastry chef at Sankara, Nairobi. And as you can see from the table, it's all about goodies this morning. So David, during the festivities, what are some of the things that people really like to order from what you've observed?
I mean, it's quite a broad spectrum, but obviously it's the festivity season, and obviously you have to have good drink, which is champagne season. So everybody likes to have champagne to celebrate. Obviously, then we've got the Pascal over here, who creates some wonderful items for the festive period. One of these is obviously his little houses that he makes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is a time for cheer. It is time for happiness. It's time for families. So it's, you know, whatever you want to enjoy this period is up to you.
Okay, before we get to Pascal, I can see, are you still preparing or are you?
No, it's fine.
Okay, I really like that you've taken my seat as well. Do you want to interview us? So the gingerbread men that he's making, are these specials that Sankara makes?
Yeah, they're very unique to the hotel. I mean, it does originate from Germany, but obviously Pascal's worked in many countries in the world, and obviously he's learned that and brought it to us. It is fabulous, and also it's fun.
It's fun.
It is fun. I mean, it's a festive time is to have fun and enjoy, and obviously it's very towards the children as well.
Okay, so why don't we get to it? Pascal, what do you have here? It looks so yum.
Okay.
Gingerbread house.
So you have one with finish and one with half.
And you're going to teach us how to do it.
Exactly. So gingerbread is, as David mentioned, its origin is from Germany, Switzerland. Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm going to make this in my house, where am I going to get the ginger biscuit itself?
You
do I
can
have to make it from scratch, or can you buy it?
No, you can do from scratch. It's not very complicated in a way, because basically you just need the flour. Of course, you need this special spice, ginger, cloves, nutmeg. So this typical spice for festive. Then the rest is very straightforward.
Okay, so you make your, I'm calling it the ginger biscuit because I don't know what else it's.
Yeah, you can call it more or less like this, because all the rest is a type of Christmas cookies with a lot of related with, again, the spice itself.
Okay, and if you don't like gingerbread, or if you don't like ginger or nutmeg or cloves, what do? Can you substitute?
You could. But then you don't have the same, it will be completely different.
I saw the frustration
flavors.
on your face, you're like, but ginger, right?
Don't forget,
yeah,
the ginger is not strong. The ginger itself is not strong like what you will have if you eat particularly Thai food.
Okay.
You know? So you will not, this is Belgium cookies. We call that speculoos. It's very classic of the classic, of Belgium. The only thing is usually they use an imprint where it's very difficult to find and it's pretty expensive. It's done in wood. So when you pass your dough, then the imprint is on the dough.
Wow.
On the cookie itself. So that's why it's very well known if you travel a little bit around. And it starts to become very trendy, this type of cookies.
All right, it's very, very delicious, I'll tell you that. So if you can't make this at home, then you know where to find it.
But you have another one cookie with shortbread.
Shortbread, and that's really easy
and
to
that
do as
is
well.
easy, and you don't need the ginger powder. You don't need the gingerbread, ginger powder. Sorry.
Just lots of butter and sugar. Yeah. Okay, so you have your gingerbread ready. What do you use to put the?
Okay, the rest to stick together is a royal icing.
Is a what?
Royal icing. So
royal icing. Do you know what that is, David?
Yeah, it's basically made with icing sugar, egg white, and lemon juice.
Wow, okay.
The lemon juice allowed to dry up let's say in a bracket, the meringue, because it's roughly a meringue in a way. Yeah. So when you add a lemon juice, then it will allow your construction to solidify. Then it doesn't fall off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's like our
here.
glue
Yeah.
for the people who do the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
you put it together with this special glue
Okay.
that no doubt
And-
tastes delicious.
And then, but basically, you use the same one to do all this decoration.
Okay.
So here I use different color because you can color it also the wire icing. Okay, so you have green, yellow, should have red, purple. Yeah. And then you have also Smarties.
I know,
because
I
for
just
the
wanted
kids. Because
This
the
is
kids.
really bad for me in the morning.
Because for the kids.
But I'll go for it.
Just to
Okay.
give you an idea, we cover the entire entrance of our deli with gingerbread.
Oh my goodness.
So when you're coming in, you have already the smell of the
So it
gingerbread.
already smells good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you feel you go to, let's say, a cottage in a way, if you are in the Alps during the winter season. Yeah. So this is one thing.
Also,
And basically, what we will do, we just need this paper bag, okay, to create all this small
and
decoration
I
there.
saw you making them earlier. How do
Yeah.
you do this?
Basically, unfortunately, you don't have the right paper here because overall, you don't really have a grease-proof paper. Whatever they call this is not really grease-proof paper.
They're lying
So-
to us? Is that what you're telling us?
Whatever you think.
David, you have to pay us for entertaining
Because
you this morning.
normally, grease-proof paper, you should not oil it. Yeah? Okay. So unfortunately, this you have to oil. But why it's not very good? Because as soon as you have a little bit of humidity, then it breaks. So what you do, you have to make like a triangle shape. Yeah. And to be able to do what I did is to create, like if you do an ice cream cornet. Yeah.
It looks very easy. Can I have
And-
one and try?
Just no. Show to me.
Ow.
That is when it has to be.
It has to be
like
sharp
this.
like that.
Yeah, like this.
Okay. And so you get it, and it has to be really sharp. And how do you make sure it stays? Oh, you just stuck
You
it
just
in.
close inside.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm
So if
assuming
you want to try, I'll give you a better one.
I'm probably going to be really terrible at this. So as I show everyone how absolutely horrible I am at this,
You need to practice. It's not happen today to tomorrow.
I don't even know where to begin.
So, okay, if you have a triangle like this, like a rectangular triangle, okay, you have to take this 45 degrees angle on your right side, okay, and then from your palm, you turn like that,
Okay?
yeah, you turn to get the shape you want,
Okay.
Right.
I think I have it.
and then from the other two fingers on your other hand, it's just to block, then it's not open it.
I really don't think I'm very good at this, but so that we
It's
don't
ju-
waste time on me
Just
trying
need
to
to
do
practice.
this.
If not, you have another solution. You can find in the market a disposable piping bag.
Oh wait, I think I did it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, it's more or less okay. It's more or less okay. The only thing, the issue you will have is to close
It's
it.
to close it because I'm like it's at the end.
Okay.
All right. So once I perfect my skill on this, and then you fill it
Yeah.
with the good
This,
stuff.
exactly.
And what is that? The colored.
So it's food color. Yeah. So it has to be hydrosoluble.
What does that mean?
It's dissolved in the water.
Okay.
Yeah. The other type, I think you will not even find here.
Okay.
It's for different purposes. Okay, so that basically you mix your, if it's in powder, you mix with a little bit of lemon juice and you add into your wire
Okay.
icing. So basically, what I will start to do is to do all the white part, okay? Because when I will put the white part, I will have to stick straight away whatever I want to put on it,
Okay.
because it will dry up very fast.
All right. So
Okay.
why don't you show us how to do that? And so David, as he's doing this, perhaps you could tell us what other goodies that Sankara has prepared for us this Christmas.
The festivities start on Christmas Eve, which is a large buffet in the Artisan restaurant. And then we follow through on Christmas Day, which is probably even larger, which will cover many aspects from Asian to European to Indian to Thai, plus the traditional garnish of roast
Yeah.
turkey and all the things you want to eat at Christmas. And then you have Pascal, which will be doing a presentation for the Christmas desserts, from plum pudding to Easter houses to chocolate to ice creams. So quite expansive array, let's say.
Does this mean it's going to be expensive for the person who's trying to celebrate Christmas there?
No.
Yeah?
Not overly expensive.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to enjoy, which is obviously the time of Christmas and this holiday season, then you may have to splash out a little bit.
Might have to spend just a little bit
Just
extra.
a little bit
but
more.
you're telling us that it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, it's going to be worth it. I mean, it is the array of food and entertainment. There's live music as well. It's all incorporated
Okay.
in the package.
So I see that Pascal has already begun. What do you call those?
Okay, it's like if you have a snow. Yeah? So
Do you mind doing it on the other side so our viewers can do it? Ooh, gosh, I nearly spilt this in the studio.
The icicles.
So they look, yeah, it looks like snow.
Yeah,
it
icicles.
does, yeah.
like what we say, stalactite,
Yeah, stalactite.
stalagmite.
Okay.
Okay, so meat go down and teeth go up.
And go.
Sorry for, but it's the only way. It's the only way.
To remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So that looks like it's, you know, once you get the hang of it, it looks like it's fairly simple because the consistency of whatever you're using makes it really
Why don't
easy
you
to
have a
do.
go?
No? Why don't I have a go? Oh my goodness. Thanks for putting me on the spot. To show just how terrible I am at some of these things. So Pascal, is it okay if I just jump in and do it with pink?
No problem.
I'm not sure what to do.
Let me fill it up.
Okay.
You just have to mix it a bit. So, why? Because you have to get the right consistency also too. Yeah. If it's too hard, you will not be able to have this, and if it's too liquid, it's going
Then
to
it
fall
will
off.
fall. I want to taste it as well.
It's very sweet, and a little bit you will
Oh
feel
wow,
the
it is
lemon.
very sweet.
Yeah.
It's good though. Okay, so you have to talk me through this. I'm just going to stand in front.
Let me bring closer.
Okay. Oh, there's a door as well. I hadn't seen the door. There's a
We
door
can
in
even
the
put
gingerbread
somebody
man.
inside.
You can put. Okay.
No, but go ahead.
All right. So I'm assuming press. I'm really not good at this.
So what you have to do,
I will really.
what you have to do, is basically you have to work with your two hands. Yeah. Because
Can you stand this way? I know it's a bit awkward for you, but we just need the people to see what you're doing.
you have to work with your two hands because if you work with your one hand, it's very difficult to control it.
Okay.
Yeah? So this hand is just to be able to control what you do, and then here is to press
So you
only.
squeeze.
Oh. You see? Because if I do like this, or me is even worse, probably even worse than you. You see?
My director is telling me she's coming to my house for Christmas, and if I don't do this, then she'll be very upset.
You know, so it just you have. It's anyway. It's going to be. It has to be a practice.
Okay.
It's not going to be happen today to tomorrow.
Can you do other things if you don't want the icicles? Maybe if you want to give your house, I'm just going to ruin this for you. If you want little tiles to go around.
This is up to your imagination.
Oh yay!
You know?
So I'm creating tiles. So you do pretty much.
What you can, if you had a frame, okay, you can instead to do one shape like this, you can create your tiles and put the tiles like the way you will put in the top of your roof.
Okay. So I'm obviously not very creative. As you can see, this is very terrible workmanship. But for anyone hoping to have Christmas at my house, this is what you'll get. I am not an executive chef at Sankara. Thank you very much. So you have fun with it, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then when you're done with that, I'm seeing
But
the
basically,
biscuits.
what you do, then you can take like the cinnamon star cookies. So you take the glue. What
Oh,
like-
and it just sticks.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you want to put you can even do with this Christmas tree.
Okay.
What
Again,
you
we
can
just
even
have
do.
to be cognizant of our viewers. Yeah.
Like if you have your light.
Oh, it's a Christmas tree.
So with all this color,
Uh-huh.
where did you put your pink?
I lost. Oh, it's here.
Okay.
So it looks very pretty.
You can play with that. And then with the other color.
Oh, you have multiple spoons. He came prepared. I just came for the food. I don't know about you, David. And so what are really good treats to serve with, like the gingerbread cabin?
That would be mainly for the kids.
Yeah.
And what you can do is to fill up with Christmas cookies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when they break, then they have like in Easter, you have your Easter eggs and you have some gimmick inside.
Yeah.
So then you could create the same thing with your ginger house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, David, I've got to ask, how do you usually serve this back at the hotel? Because it looks really nice, but once people start eating it, doesn't it just crumble?
No, I mean, you eat as much as you can eat the whole thing all at once, or you can share with your family and
Yeah.
friends, and you drink it with, I mean, tea, coffee, I mean,
Milk.
milk, as we got here.
Okay. On average, how long does this take to do for an amateur from beginning to end?
If you have to do the dough, I would say about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours.
From
If you have to do the dough itself from the beginning, to put all that together, you need about 2 to 3 hours.
But if you buy
you have the dough, if you have the dough, I would say in an hour you should be able to do that.
Okay. So any other tips you can give our viewers before we wind up? I'm seeing you have very interesting things here that we haven't used.
Okay, so then you can use the silver pearl you can find in most of the supermarkets.
In any supermarkets,
Okay,
which I've seen.
and then
they're
here-
edible as well, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then here I asked to a supplier to do to put Merry Christmas on a edible paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I will have to do is to remove the plastic with underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Can I see one of those?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh, so they come in really handy.
So it's coming in on a paper of 48 pieces.
What's usually what is used to make the edible paper?
Okay, so it's usually all rice paper or a type of marzipan.
Okay.
Now rice paper is more easy to handle it.
So I don't know if the viewers at home are able to see this. It's quite handy. It's quite cute as well, so I'm going to eat it.
If you have some company who can do your chocolate logo, for instance, you can put that on there. You can go as crazy as you wish.
As crazy as you wish. Okay, I like that. And so the finished product should ideally, assuming you're an executive chef, an executive pastry chef, should look something like this. But don't be too disappointed if it doesn't look like this, right?
Exactly, but it's, in the end of the day, if you never did that before, when I start and when I learned that, it was also the same thing for me.
Yeah.
So it's always a step where you have to start from the beginning, and then with the experience, and you will be able to make it better and better.
Okay, David, I'm seeing a box on that table.
This
I'm
is-
quite curious to know what's in there.
This is for you.
It's for me.
As it's Christmas, this is from the Sankara Hotel, and I hope you enjoy it. Would you
Can
like
I
to
open it?
You
Yeah.
may.
Oh my goodness, it really is Christmas. We get gifts. I really ought to declare this. I really like the wrapping as well. Okay, let's see what's in this cake. Or what's in here. Is it cake? Is it cookies?
But it's a surprise.
It's better than cake. Can you tell that Christmas excites me?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so in here, this is quite, what is this?
This is mixed olives.
I love olives.
Yes. This is a marmalade jam, so you can have it on your toast or your croissant or your whatever you fancy. Chocolate, obviously, for Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Biscotti, which is a type of biscuit.
Oh,
Italian.
Italian.
do you make
based.
this at the hotel?
Everything you have here is made here.
Every single
He
thing
make-
that's in here is
Pascal
made.
makes the jam.
Wow.
Yeah, he makes all the chocolates.
Okay. And then in here we have
Tea.
tea. Of course, you have to have tea for all these treats. And there's a box in here which
And
has
then
something
jam, yeah.
lovely. Oh wow.
Mince pies. You can't have Christmas without mince pies.
No, you can't. This is so beautiful. You should come back and teach us how to do this, or post recipes on your website that people can get. Is it possible to do that? Does the hotel have that?
Yeah. We do it. We have it. We even sell it on a bigger size.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you can even do by yourself these things.
And then there is no alcohol in here whatsoever.
Ever.
There
We
is
don't-
just tea. You would never bring alcohol for me on set, would you?
Never.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming into studio this morning. Perhaps, Pascal, you can give our viewers some tips on some of the very easy and quick, delicious treats they can use or they can make over the Christmas holidays.
I think the Christmas cookies would be the easiest one to do. As I said, the shortbread. I think the speculoos is even if you don't have the imprint, it's not too complicated. Of course, gingerbread. And you can find in a lot of places. In Nairobi, I was pretty surprised is to find these small cookie cutters.
The cookie cutters.
For Christmas.
Okay.
So gingerbread man. Santa Claus and all that things.
Are there things we can do, say, with the cookies that are already in the market, if you want to maybe use them as decorative items?
But what you can do, if you have a Christmas tree and you don't have too much money to spend, and you can find these Christmas cookies, what you have to do is to warm it up a little bit, and with a small tube, you make a hole. Okay, and not too narrow to the edge, but somewhere with, not in the middle either, of course. Then if you have a nice ribbon, okay, or do you decorate your Christmas cookies? Nice ribbon, and you hang up on your Christmas tree.
And you hang Christmas cookies on a Christmas tree. Whoever heard of that? Thank you very much, Pascal.
You're welcome.
And thank you to you, David. You assure me that when I come to the Sankara, I'll have a good time.
Definitely. So make sure you do come down during this holiday season and come and see all the creations that Pascal's put together and enjoy yourself. Obviously, it's a family period, children's period, and also a religious period. So enjoy.
So enjoy. I couldn't put it better myself. Thank you so much for coming. I cannot wait to just dig into this. So why don't we take a short break? And when we come back, we will be speaking to, I believe, Patrick Amimo, who's in Parliament, just sort of, I understand that there's actually no break. So do we go to Patrick Amimo straight away? We speak with Aaron Ochieng, who's in Parliament, I beg your pardon, just to give us an update of what's going on. Aaron, we're having fun here in studio, but I'm assuming it's quite a different scene where you are. What's happening in Parliament at the moment? How soon do we expect the legislators to start streaming in?
Of course, two crucial businesses that has called for the members of Parliament to be recalled for this special session. One is that of voting of the proposed or nominated Security Docket Member of Parliament, Security Docket Cabinet Secretary Joseph Olelenku, who is the Kajiado member of Kajiado Central Member of Parliament. That will be the first business that Parliament will be transacting this morning. And later on is that proposed Security Amendment Bill 2014 that proposes a raft of changes in the security of this country. Those are the two businesses that Parliament will be conducting this morning, or later even it will spill in the afternoon. Edith.
Now, Aaron, have you been able to see or speak to any legislators? I do understand that it's still quite early, just to get their views and opinions ahead of this very crucial day in Parliament today.
No, I haven't spoken to any of the members of Parliament because they are coming in, and of course they are divided. The Jubilee members of Parliament are of course canvassing on to see how they will pass this piece of legislation, and also their counterparts trying to oppose these measures. But by yesterday, there hasn't been any consensus between the two divides, because the Jubilee are saying they will push for it. Of course, they have the numbers, that's what they are going for. And of course, the court members were whipped yesterday up to late evening, strategizing on how best they will oppose these particular bills. But of course, we also heard from a member of the majority leader, Eden Duale, stipulating that based on the amendments that had been proposed by various committees, they have already amended, and he was expecting that their opposition counterparts would also be in the loop in advocating or passing for this particular legislation. But by yesterday evening, there hadn't been any consensus. But of course, Eden Duale is saying they have amended a number of laws that touch on this particular bill, and of course expecting the opposition to support the move. But we will be expecting to see a battle between the two divides of the House when it convenes. Edith.
Now, Aaron, I'm just noticing behind you that there's security personnel who are sort of pacing up and down. Is this situation replicated throughout? Are we seeing an increased security presence? And if so, why?
Yes, the streets around Parliament are heavily guarded by paramilitary officers, some in horses, and also some heavily armed and are moving around, even vetting the people who are passing around here. And even as journalists, we had to be vetted seriously to ascertain which media house we are from, just to make sure that things are in place. This is because the opposition members of Parliament yesterday evening, if you heard, they were saying they will organize for demonstrations around Parliament just from Wananchi side, just to show the opposition to this proposed amendments. So that could be the reason that has informed a heavy security presence here in Parliament. Edith.
Now, Aaron, as you did mention earlier, these two major agendas in Parliament this morning, and the suggestion or the impression at the moment seems to be that the appointment of Nkaissery will go unopposed. Have you heard anything on the ground as to this regard?
Yes, we don't expect much opposition from the appointment, the nomination of Joseph Nkaissery for the security docket. Because if you remember, at the Committee of Appointments that is headed by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, there hadn't been many opposition. The only matter that was raised about Nkaissery was the fact that he had been picked from the opposition, and there hadn't been consultation from the president with the opposition before or prior to his nomination. That could have been the only thing that we saw being raised against Joseph Nkaissery. But at the Committee of Appointments, we saw a composed Joseph Olelenku who convinced members of that committee that he is fit for the job. So we don't expect much hurdle in the when Nkaissery when the committee presents its report before the House.
Okay, Aaron, I know earlier on you did say that security had been increased around Parliament, but are we seeing members of the public sort of milling around in anticipation of what's supposed to happen this afternoon?
No. They are being waited far apart from, if you know, you're familiar with this place, Harambee Avenue has been completely sealed all the way from Kenyatta International Conference Center, and this other side of Intercontinental Hotel, it has also been sealed. And around here, we are not seeing members of public moving around because of that measure that has been put in place. But that does not mean that we don't expect any commotion, because I'm sure there are others who are organizing themselves, and probably we might be seeing demonstrations, especially from those who are opposed to these pieces of legislation. Edith.
Well, thank you very much, Aaron Ochieng. We are describing the events of this afternoon, or what we expect this afternoon, as a looming showdown. And if what happened on the set this morning is anything to go by, we do expect quite a bit of excitement. KTN obviously has its eyes closely set on that story to bring you the developments as they happen, and to tell you what exactly it means for both you and I. Well, it's time to wind up this show, and I've still got my goodies. I've received a very threatening message from my mother saying, you better bring me some things or else. Well, I don't even think they're going to survive this studio. I think by the time I'm out the door, they'll be in my tummy. Thank you for joining us on KTN's Morning Express. Tomorrow, we continue with the festivities. It's going to be a show like no other. It's the last one this year. Please join us. My name is Edith Kimani, and have a beautiful day.